there, my name is Carla Biesinger and I'm going to be your instructor for these videos. I have been an entrepreneur for about 11 years. I actually started out owning a restaurant in Buenos Aires, Argentina, and have then moved into the online business industry, creating online courses and teaching entrepreneurs from all over the world and from all different kinds of niches how to build an audience of true ideal followers and potential clients, and how to actually turn those followers into paying customers. So I'm really excited to have you here and to teach you how you can first of all choose the right platform for you, and how you can create content that really feels aligned, that feels easy, and that is going to attract your ideal followers that are potential customers. So this first video is all about content creation, really getting clear on what is the content that your ideal follower is going to look for online, how you can add value, how you can position yourself as an expert. And then in the Selling Through Stories course, you're going to learn how to use particularly your Instagram stories, but you could also apply this to Facebook stories or even to TikTok, in order to showcase what you have to offer, in order to filter out your hottest leads. And really my goal for you is to shift away from feeling scared of putting your offers out there because you're feeling pushy, or you're feeling like you don't want to be salesy, and really shift to a place where you feel excited about sharing what you have to offer, knowing that the people who follow you and the people who watch your stories are actually interested in what you have to offer. They're interested in your business, and they are perfect ideal clients for you. So that's my big goal for you. I hope you'll love these courses, whether you're looking to grow an audience, whether you're looking to make connections through Instagram, especially because you're in such a close-knit niche and industry. Instagram can be a really great place for you to make connections with potential venues that might book you, with potential clients, or even with other artists that you might want to hire or that you might want to collaborate with. So I'm really excited for you to dive into the content, take it step by step, one lesson at a time. And if you want to reach out to me, you can find me on Instagram at Carla Biesinger. Always feel free to send me a DM so I can follow you back, and yeah, have fun.
Welcome to this month's Master Action Plan on how to get visible and really how to stand out online and attract your ideal clients to make more sales. There is a secret to growing a successful brand online, and it doesn't matter whether you have a product-based business or a service-based business, or whether you want to be an influencer. The secret is what I call the 3 C's: consistency, content, and call to action. Now we're going to go through all of these today, and we're going to start with consistency. Consistency will build your confidence and create results over time. And what I wanted to mention here is that this doesn't happen overnight, right? Building a successful brand doesn't happen overnight. If you look at my profile, I've posted over 1,000 posts over the past 5 years. Now, there have been days where I didn't feel like showing up, and there have been times where I felt like no one is listening, but I kept showing up. Yes, I may have taken some days off when I really didn't feel like it, but overall, I kept showing up week after week, day after day, and that's how I have built my successful brand. Now, they say great marketing is saying the same thing in 100 different ways. So what they're saying is your potential customer needs to hear about your offer multiple times before they buy. And I want to dive into why that is. Reason number 1 is it takes time. So we have this chart here where you can basically see, I'm sure you've all heard of the know, like, and trust factor. And I want to take it one step further, where it's know, like, trust, buy, right? So in other words, we have to create awareness. So we have to let people know that we're out there in order for them to get to know us. Then we have to create interest, which equals the like factor. And then by creating the trust, we're also creating desire for our offer. And then the final step is getting our followers or our audience to buy and to take action in order to make that sale, right? So we have to move them down this funnel and go from know, like, trust to buy, or go from awareness, interest, desire to action. Now, reason number 2 why people need to hear about your offer multiple times is content overload, right? There's so many posts being posted each day, so many stories, so many offers being put in front of us. So your followers or your subscribers, they definitely won't see or read every single post or video that you share. And you can also blame the algorithm for that, right? Like sometimes it just won't show it to them. And the second thing is people don't remember everything you say. You might feel like, oh my God, I've talked about this a million times already, but I can promise you that people need to hear the same message over and over again before it sinks in. Now, this is great news, right? Because it basically means that we don't have to reinvent the wheel when it comes to creating content. We get to talk about the same things over and over again. Now, consistent will look different on every platform, right? And it will depend on the platform you choose. So I just quickly wanted to go over the different platforms that you might want to focus on and what consistent should look like. So on Instagram, to be consistent and to really see success, you want to post at least 4 to 5 times per week, 7 if you really want to grow faster. Out of these posts, it's right now what's working really well is Reels. So if you can do up to 3 Reels, that's great. If that's not really your jam right now, that's okay too. Try and do at least 1 Reel per week. And then what you could do is 1 IG Live that you can then turn into an IGTV. Now with stories, you definitely do want to show up most days because stories only stay up for 24 hours, right? So you want to be doing 7 stories per day. That's kind of the recommended number for ultimate views. And you want to be doing that 6 to 7 days per week. Now, if you're using Facebook, and what's working really well on Facebook is either using your personal profile or Facebook groups. When you're using your personal profile, it means showing up and posting 5 to 7 times per week and then doing stories, again, 6 to 7 days per week. On Facebook, you might want to do less stories, maybe only 3 to 5 per day. You can do more. They found that once you kind of get over the recommended number, there are those true fans that will watch every single story you post, but there will be a drop-off for the majority of people who are like, okay, this is just getting too much. If you're using Facebook groups as your platform, then you want to be posting and showing up 4 to 5 times per week. Now, when you're using Facebook groups, you want to just spend time in there, being active, being engaged, just, connecting with people that you can then add from your personal profile. If you're using TikTok, you want to be posting a lot. So you definitely want to be doing once per day. And if you really want to start off with a bang, it's been proven that posting 3 times per day for 1 week will give your account that initial boost. So that's up to you. If you're new and you want to start off with a bang, that's something you can do. On YouTube, you want to be posting 1 to 2 times per week, and you want to be really specific when it comes to the time and the days that you post. That's been proven that to work well for the algorithm. So if you say, okay, I'm going to post every Monday at 12 p.m., make sure to post every Monday at 12 p.m. YouTube also recently released Stories, which is only available on mobile right now. And what's different to stories on YouTube compared to Instagram or Facebook is they actually stay up for 7 days. So you could just do 1 story per week, unless on the other platforms where you have to do multiple stories, multiple days per week, you could just do 1 per week. Pinterest, if you're choosing Pinterest, it's really all about pinning your own content and then pinning other people's content. So a good formula to use is pinning 8 to 10 of your own pins and then 20 to 25 pins of other people. And you can use a tool called Tailwind to really automate this. So you only have to set it up once a month and then it'll run for you every single day. When it comes to creating new content, you can do one blog post per week and then turn that into 8 to 10 different pins that you can then repurpose over time. And finally, when it comes to LinkedIn, similar to Facebook, you want to be posting about 4 to 5 times per week. And you also have LinkedIn groups where, again, you want to be showing up 4 to 5 times per week, engaging, posting, making connections. So which platform will you choose to show up consistently? And I don't want you to focus on all of these platforms. I really want you to pick one and commit, right? Because doing one thing properly is so much better and is going to be so much more powerful than doing 5 things kind of half-assed. But before we move on, I wanted to mention email, because your email list is really the only list and the only audience that you own. So unlike on social media, you really want to be focusing on growing this asset, right? Because that's really something that you will own forever. And so focusing on growing your list and nurturing them is really a non-negotiable. And you can do 1 email per week, 2 emails per week. If you're just starting out and you're feeling overwhelmed, you could even just do an email every 2 weeks. And what I recommend is to repurpose your best social media content and then just share it with your list. But definitely get into the habit of emailing your list, of building these relationships, and of nurturing your list. So once you've decided which platform you're going to commit to and which platform you're going to show up on consistently, let's move over to the content. Now, the platform you choose will obviously dictate the type of content you'll create. But whatever platform you choose, there are 3 things that make good content. 1, it has to be entertaining. 2, it could be interesting. Or 3, it would need to be relevant to your audience. So if you're focusing on a platform like TikTok, you're going to create content that's more entertaining. If you're focusing on LinkedIn, you're going to be focusing on creating content that's more interesting. But really, the one of these 3 that's so key is that it needs to be relevant to your audience. And that's what we're going to be focused on today. So in other words, people care about content they care about, right? So you want to be creating content that they care about, that they find relevant. Now, how can you figure out what that is? Well, people usually care about 3 things: a problem they have, a desire they have, or something that's in it for them, right? Like this could be a deal, a special deal, or a bundle, or a bonus, or something like that. A problem or desire, I think, is self-explanatory. So first of all, you want to start by paying attention to what they are saying. So how are they describing their problems? How are they talking about what they want? And you want to create what I call an ideal client language sheet. And I'll show you in a second what that looks like. But basically, before you start creating content, you really want to focus on research. So research in relevant Facebook groups. You can search for questions that people are asking. You can even search for a keyword. So for example, if you go into a Facebook group for female entrepreneurs, you can type into the search bar and search for something like Instagram. And it will show you all of the individual threads where people have mentioned Instagram. And often those threads are questions. So you can see what questions they're asking, what words they're using. You can use your own Facebook group if you have one and just see what kind of questions are people asking. You can use a tool called answerthepublic.com to come up with ideas. And then you can simply ask them. So I use Instagram story polls or the question feature all the time to find out what kind of content is most relevant to my audience. So I might post something on my story saying, what are you more interested in? Learning about hashtags or learning about reels? And then just have a poll and let the audience vote for what they want to hear about. And then basically give them what they want, right? We always want to research and then give them what they want. And then the other thing you can do is simply analyze what's trending. So if you're scrolling through Instagram, if you're scrolling through Reels, you will see certain topics in your niche that will pop up over and over again. And while we obviously don't want to copy exactly what other people are doing, jumping on these wagons and definitely jumping on these trends when it comes to content creation is super powerful, because you're seeing that this topic is being talked about. So people are clearly wanting to learn about it. So why not talk about it in your own unique way? So this is what your ideal client language sheet could look like. And this is one that I used years ago when I had my own Facebook group. I basically asked the questions when people needed to join the group. They had to answer these two questions. One, what's your biggest struggle right now when it comes to growing your brand or business online? And then two, what do you want to achieve in the next 90 days? So this is giving me, if we go back, the problem they have and then a desire they have, right? So you can see here, putting forth a clear and consistent message, number of followers rarely improves, stuck at the same number for months, creating a following, finding clients, being consistent, getting followers. So I can see that there's definitely a trend here. A lot of people are struggling with getting followers, right? Getting more traffic, finding my niche, engaging with customers. So getting more followers and then also getting more clients. So I could now come up with ideas for little snippets that I could create to help people get more followers or get more clients online. And then same thing with the next 90 days. I want to get, again, more followers and sponsored posts, larger frequency, interaction, following, get more people interested in my social media, get more people to be engaged with my brand. So again, engagement is something that stands out to me here. So you really want to focus on creating a spreadsheet like this and just keep adding questions, keep adding problems that you see people talk about, goals that you see people talk about, to just have this sheet, and then you can refer back to it whenever you're short on content ideas. So number 3 is the call to action. And that's basically literally asking for a sale, because we really want to focus on building a social media following or an email list that will turn into clients, right? So we will have to make these calls to action in order to ask for the sale. So the first thing I want you to think about is, what do you want to promote? Remember, the reason we're showing up to consistently, and the reason why we're creating this content and why we're being so helpful and creating all this value, is that we can earn the right to make a call to action or an offer. So remember this, right? We talked about this. We have to focus on building the know, like, and trust factor before we can ask them to buy. Or in other words, we have to focus on creating awareness, interest, and desire before we can ask them to take action. So for this third part, let's actually reverse engineer and let's start at the top. So what do you want to offer this month? And it could be a free offer or a paid offer. That really depends on you. If you're right in the beginning and you're really wanting to focus on building your audience, building your list, you might choose to offer a free offer, really just to get people to subscribe to your email list. Or if you're ready to make a paid offer, what is that one offer that you're going to focus on this month? Then think about, how will you create desire for it? How will you create interest for it? And how will you create awareness? So these 3 kinds of posts are really going to be value posts where we're creating the know, like, and trust. And then this is going to be a promo post where we're asking for the sale or we're making a call to action. Now, we always want to remember the 80-20 rule, right? When we show up online, we want to spend 80% of our content, of our time, giving value, so sharing tips, trends, inspiration, motivation, how-tos, and then 20% promoting something. And promoting, again, could be a freebie, it could be a sale, it could be a launch, but we really want to be focused on doing that 80% value, 20% promotion. Now, in order to help us really comply with this 80-20 rule, you want to be creating a content calendar. And so at the beginning of the month, you want to look at the month ahead and decide what you want to promote, and then basically fill your content calendar around it with a mix of value and promo posts. Now, your content calendar will look completely different from someone else in the program, right? Because you're deciding how many times you're going to show up, when you're going to be posting, and that will dictate when you're going to be promoting. So if we have here a content calendar that's Monday through Sunday, and you're deciding to focus on posting 5 times a week, Monday through Friday, then your 80% content will be basically 3.5 weeks. And then there's 1 week where you're focusing on making sales or promotions. It could look like this, where you're posting every day and you decide that every Friday you're going to make an offer. There's an account I follow on Instagram. She resells designer handbags, and she does a drop, she calls it, every Friday at 11 a.m. So throughout the week, she's just posting, she's teasing people, like showing what's coming up on Friday, but nothing's actually for sale until that Friday. And so on Friday at 11 a.m., she has all these people waiting to see what items she's going to be posting, and they go within minutes. It's really crazy. So this is one thing you could do. Or it could look something like this is what I do. I post Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Sometimes I throw in a 4th post. And so that's how I would structure my content calendar. So I have 3 weeks of value, and then I have 1 week where I'm just promoting my offers. Now, I know it can be difficult to come up with these content ideas. So I wanted to give you a few ideas for value post ideas, and then also for promo post ideas. So value post ideas would be to answer a question, to solve a problem. So this is going back to our ideal client language sheet, really looking at what are the questions people are asking, what are the problems they're having. It could be sharing mistakes you've made and what you've learned, tips and how-tos or little trainings, busting a myth, sharing a fact, sharing a helpful tool or an app. Those are all value post ideas. Now, promo post ideas could be something like a testimonial, client win, a before and after, promoting a freebie, sharing a sale or a specific offer, doing a giveaway, or something like breaking news. This week only, we're launching our new product and it's going to be 20% off. So you can go through these ideas and then go through your ideal client language sheet and just match them up according to your content calendar. So to sum up, the action steps we have is, first of all, decide on which platform you're going to commit to and which platform you're going to show up on, plus decide how many emails you're going to be sending your list each month, and then stick to that. Action step number 2 is going to be to create this ideal client language sheet and to research in your groups or in Facebook groups or in your own groups or asking on Instagram, going into forums, going into answerthepublic.com, and to come up with at least 10 content ideas. And you can follow along these action steps in your workbook. And then step number 3 is to create your content calendar with value posts and promo posts, knowing exactly what you will focus on promoting this month. And you can create a content calendar on a piece of paper. You can plan out your posts in an app like Plan, or you can literally post notifications in your physical Google Calendar or iCalendar. However you want to create your calendar, that's completely up to you, but it does really help planning it out. Now, the last thing I want to share is to really keep showing up, to continue to share content your audience cares about, and to earn the right to make a call to action. If you continue to keep doing this, your success will be inevitable.